Good morning. It's me and Dean from Toad Hopper Ranch. uh, well, I thought I would take advantage of bringing you out here today. It's been a while. Um, if you saw the last video, you know that Terry had open heart surgery and he's doing well. And we thank you for all your prayers and it was a tough go. And but he's doing a lot better. He's healing up and so everything's good. But I thought that I would take this morning, since it's kind of cool out. It was actually 66 degrees uh, here in Missouri, where it has been in the 90s every day in June. It seems like. I think it's been every day with absolutely no rain. So I just got done with my watering. We may get some rain Wednesday. I'm hoping because our ground has a lot of clay in it and everything is just like concrete. So everything that is in the ground, any kind of a root crop, it's almost like it's growing in cement. So anyway, we'll get on with it. So we're starting up here in the upper garden. And I'm going to turn this around so I can just kind of point and shoot instead of you seeing my face. And let's get started. So here we are. I'm going to grab my coffee too so I can talk and walk at the same time. These, we had grown a couple rows of radishes, and they got pretty woody, so I'm just leaving them with the flowers on them and stuff. I thought maybe they would be a deterrent from the deer, and they may or may not be. I don't know. Deer, I guess, will eat anything that is closest to their mouth. But we planted lots of sunflowers, and they're doing pretty well. We've got like 5 different varieties, and I couldn't name them for you right now. I think he marked them. These are going to grow pretty tall, but they're not mammoth. These right here in front of me are special ones. We've got a couple tubs. Out of the 5 that I planted here, only 2 made it because the wind was so bad that it broke a couple of them, or 3 of them anyway. But these are called Van Gogh's Fantasy, and they only come from one place. The guy up in Wisconsin, his name is Sunflower Steve, and he developed these things. And for a donation to his kids' camp on his property, he let a lot of these go. And so we sent them a donation. And but yeah, there's, unless somebody else in Missouri bought some, these are the only ones in Missouri. We have our tunnel, and we had 3 of these together back in Ohio. We've got 2 of them here, but we called it the bean tunnel. So we've got some Kentucky Wonders starting to do the climb up the sides, and eventually it will come up and, you know, loop over. Greatest way to grow and pick beans is off of a cattle panel. Weeds are out of control here, and there's just, I don't know what you can do about them. I pulled and weeded and everything else, and it's just like, well, whatever comes up, comes up. But we've got a lot of zinnias and other kinds of wildflower mixes planted in here, so they're starting to come up. And then we get back here to the different squashes, and yes, my leaves are yellow. I've overwatered them because it's been so hot and dry, and I didn't realize that squash and zucchini doesn't need that much water. But anyway, we've gotten lots of flowers, and they're starting to get some zucchinis on them. Not ready yet to pick, but they're doing pretty good. I've had squash beetles already. I've had squash beetle eggs. This is a pumpkin. It's not a pumpkin, it's a squash, and it's got a French name to it. If you look at some of the other videos, I held it up, but I can't pronounce it. But I don't know, it may hang in there, it may not. I'm hoping it does, but I've actually planted two of those, so for some reason, and I can't find why they're dying off. Maybe it's a worm. I don't know. It says first time I planted in containers, but this is cucumbers. And they seem to be doing pretty good, so we're happy with that. Back here in the corner, so there was a Mexican sunflower back here, and it apparently just blew seeds all over itself last year, and I'm so happy because we love Mexican sunflowers. This will grow into a big, tall bush with lots of orange flowers on it. And there's some volunteers that came up right there. These cages hold various things. There's sunflowers in that one. There's a pathetic blueberry that we got from Walmart, and I couldn't even show you where it's at because it's just not there. Elderberries. This is one that we brought from Ohio, and it's done well, and we've broken them off and replanted them. They're doing well. If you notice, there is netting on top of it, and that's because we've already lost, well, we didn't lose it, but that one over there was real tall, and it was tall enough out of the cage that deer came and ate it. And I'm a little disappointed in that because apparently Joy was not doing her job that night, and the deer got into it and ate it. But they're hardy. They said they're the hardest things to kill, so we're hoping for the best. These are all sunflowers down here. These are just ones from birdseed, and they're doing pretty good. We thought, well, deer don't eat sunflowers, but I guess they do. So they haven't started on these yet. I've ordered something from Amazon, and it's called Deer Off, and it's like a mint, and it's not harmful to animals or pets, but deer do not like minty or strong smells like from marigolds and things like that. So I'm going to give that a try because I don't want to go through all this work and then have them eaten down in a night. And we just like the deer, but it's a love-hate relationship. Our flower thing has like filled up with weeds and grass and everything. There's got to be a different way of doing this. We've got marigolds morning glories climbing up that tunnel right there, and that tunnel is also lit up at night with solar lights. It's kind of pretty. Sunflowers, there's some big ones there. That one there gets taller and taller every day, so we've got a couple of those. I love them. And then there's some more. So then we get down into the main garden. In the main garden, we just harvested 2 rows of soft neck garlic and 2 rows of hard neck garlic. And if I get a chance, I'll show you what those look like because we have them on the porch and they're drying. So these rows are empty. What you see right now are onions, and we've picked some of those as green onions, but we're waiting for them to get bulbed up, and we think we'll have some pretty good onions. Got some okra that I grew from seed, from last year's seed, growing up right here, and there's a stray right there. I don't know how that got in there because I didn't put it there. But kale's doing excellent. In fact, more excellent than I can keep up with. You can only eat so many kale chips and chop so much of it in your salad. Sheesh. I need more coffee this morning. Anyway, the broccoli was a disappointment. And in fact, some of it's going to seed. We never did get good heads out of it. We just got little tiny sprigs here and there. So I don't know if it's a soil thing or what. We're just going to have to figure it out. There's some more of it there. And then right beside that we have potatoes, and they look like they're doing great. We hope that we had worked enough soil up and amended it and stuff to be able to dig those potatoes out of the ground when it's time. We tried growing potatoes in the backyard, and we could not get them out of the ground. The ground was like digging through concrete, so we just left them. This row, this mess of stuff here was beets. There's a few beets coming up, but a lot of them didn't make it for some reason. We replanted some more broccoli, so we're hoping that they'll do good. Under the netting, and this netting is tulle fabric, you know, like you'd buy for little girls to make tutus out of or whatever. It's that netting you can get, and you can buy it very cheaply. And I saw on another YouTube video where you can use that to keep those white moths, which lay the worms that eat the brassicas. And so I covered them up, and I haven't seen any white moths over here. And looking down into the plants, I haven't seen the worms. I'm very happy with the way that's worked out, and it was a cheap alternative. And I've just got them strung and clothespin to some old tomato cages that were here. But check these out. These are the Brussels sprouts. And I can actually see the heads forming, which is not something that I saw last year after babysitting those things relentlessly from the bugs. We've got cabbage. So I hope I get enough cabbage to ferment some sauerkraut. On the fence there we have various types of tomatoes. Most of them are Jet Stars, and they're doing pretty good. They're even starting to develop some tomatoes. I've probably got some golf ball sized tomatoes, and excited about that. I'm going to walk around here. I want to try to keep this short so it doesn't take so long to upload, because we have slow internet. We have a pathetic row of peppers. I think there's peppers at this end. The ones in the middle didn't make it, and there's some at the other end. And I can't even tell you, except for this one here is a ghost pepper. And you'll see that I have these all mulched up with hay. I had to mow in between these rows, and I think I took pictures of that, so you'll see what it looked like. And ladies and gentlemen, if you got the weeds like we do, I suggest that you put your rows far apart enough to get a mower through there, because that's all you're going to be able to do. So we got more beets here, and next to Myrtle, who's got her back turned towards us, but there is a row of carrots, and carrots are another thing that I don't know if we're going to be able to have any or not, because they're in the ground, they're a root crop, and they might not be able to penetrate the soil here, even though that was amended. And then we've got some beans, and let's see what kind of beans those are. I think those are Romas, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to put them on a trellis or something, but so far they're doing good, and I'm not worrying about it. And then we have 2 rows of corn. And some of them are higher. They're higher than my knee, and it's not the 4th of July. But some of them are higher, and some of them are not. They're kind of like struggling along. And that's because Terry expanded the garden into areas that was not amended. So we're dealing with that. And then, I don't know if you can see it in the shade or not, but we also have 2 more rows of sunflowers. So, they're doing okay. I just got done watering everything. I actually fed them some Miracle-Gro plant food. But here's the overall picture of our main garden. And here's that. When you ask somebody for a bale of straw, you get one of those round bales, but I think that I'm going to be using every bit of that to mulch these rows up. I still got that to do. I do it when I can, because it's been so extremely hot here that I just got overwhelmed with all of that. So that's the main garden. And then here's my favorite part, and that's our herb garden. And these are, the tubs are what they call mineral tubs for cows. And after they lick all the goodness out of them, the minerals and stuff, then some farmers just give them away or sell them or whatever. And we were blessed, excuse me, to have some friends up the street at Crossfire Ranch, and they gave us most of these. And some of them we've bought, but most of them were given to us. So I've got all kinds of herbs and stuff in here. I've got, let me see, I forget what this is. It's it's oregano, and then I've got a flower in here. I'm not sure. It's a daisy, I think. And this one here, I have some. I'd like to get out of my shadow. Let me switch myself around here. I've got that volunteer okra. Looks like there's 2 of them, and it's doing well. And there's a basil, a sweet basil, and I'll tell you about the herbs in a future video. I've got, I have some rosemary, I have some thyme. This is arugula, and it's about gone to seed here, but I never grew it before. It grows real well, and it's awesome in a salad. This is my pet herb, and this is a lemon verbena, and it tastes wonderful in your tea. It does have quite a lemony taste to it. You can dry it, and you can make tea out of it itself. Then I have anise hyssop, and I wish I had started more of this. When I grow these things for the first time, I don't know what they're going to do, but this tastes just like licorice. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And then I threw some nasturtiums in there, and I guess you can eat and make tea out of nasturtiums too. We'll see how that works out. I have some spearmint, and it's trying to leave the container. A couple sunflowers in there with it. And then over here I have some Agastache, I don't know, it's called the Texas hummingbird plant. So it's also an herb. I'm not real excited about the taste of it, but yeah, I'll try anything. Let me see, that was that side already. So, alright, in this container I've got some more salad greens. I have salad greens growing in the green stalks over by the cottage, and they're bolting pretty well, so I thought I would start another one and pick off of it for a while. I have a cherry tomato, and it's doing well. You can see the little tomatoes on it already, and those taste awesome fermented. If you saw one of my videos that where I fermented some, when you do that, that the flavor just explodes in your mouth when you eat one. These 2 plants were given to me, this one here and this one here, and he couldn't remember exactly what was what. One was supposed to be holy basil, and the other one was supposed to be Chinese spice globe or something. I don't think that either one of those is the Chinese spice globe, because it's not growing in the way that I thought it was going to be. But this is more of a sweet basil, and it's doing really well. Basil does great in the heat. And then this basil here has got a little bit of a different taste to it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, and I don't know exactly what it is, so I'm just calling it mystery basil. This little bucket here was some seeds I got from Baker's Creek. Oh, well, most of these are. And it's called Job's Tears, and I guess it's some kind of a grain. So I just grew some of it a little bit to see what it was going to do. And you can make beads out of the grain, I guess. So we'll see. And then in here, Terry planted 2 different kinds of beans that he didn't know what they were. And he planted some corn in the middle of them for them to climb. So far they don't look like climbing beans, but they're doing well, and it's a pretty display, I think. I have some lavender, and I got that plant at Walmart. I guess lavender is hard to grow, it's slow growing, and I don't know if that's all supposed to bloom out, but it's just kind of like been stuck in that bloom pattern there for a while. And then behind it I have some lemon bee balm, which I did grow from seed. And then here is another cherry tomato, because those tomatoes in ferment were so good. Alright, and let's see. Oh, here we got Rick, and he's guarding the things over here. So, in the haystack, and I might get a chance to get in there today because it's not as hot, at least not right now. Terry made these raised beds, and so we've got a mismatch, and they need to be weeded, but these are beans in here, and these are limas, and we said, why don't we ever grow lima beans? So we decided to throw some in there and see what happened. On the far side there, I've got some Swiss chard, and then I have some Chinese basil, which I'm undecided about right now, but hey, I bought it. I didn't know what it was, so let's see. Here is my mammoth dill, and I had some of this growing over there last year, but it was more in the shade, and it didn't do so well. In this raised bed, it's doing amazing. In fact, it's going to take over what's on the other side of it, which is my chamomile. And my chamomile is for tea, and I've already harvested a lot of it, but it comes up every day, so I'll be back out here later today, and I will harvest more. And you just pop the flowers off and let them dry, and then put them in a container and away from moisture and stuff, and you can put it in your tea, make chamomile tea. So I've got some sunflowers over here. Terry planted those. I don't know if they're going to stay there because they're going to take up a lot of room eventually, but all I have in here is basil. So, like I said, everything's doing well. Still got lots of work to do, always, but I hadn't done a garden tour for a while, and everything is coming up. We just need some rain, and well, anyway, I'm going to shut this off. I hope you all have a blessed day, and that you like and share our videos, and we hope to someday have a guest house here, so if you wanted to visit us, you know, you're more than welcome. So, alright, y'all be blessed. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.